Hello and welcome back to another episode of Getting Every Minecraft Advancement. At the end of last episode, I messed up really bad. So I came home and was starting to lead all of my cats back and, build a couple things because I'd sorely neglected buildings and stuff that I should have built a long time ago. And then a raid guy, the ones who give you bad omens spawned, and I just killed them without thinking about it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just not walk over to my village, and then it'll be fine. And then I went to go get my cats from the village, and then a raid spawned in my village. I was mostly stressed about possible mob griefing because I'm pretty sure Ravagers can destroy blocks, but I wasn't sure and I didn't really want to go check in the middle of the raid because I was more concerned about, killing the raid so that because even if they can destroy blocks, if I kill it fast enough, it can't destroy any of my hard work, hard placed blocks, Shout out to this pillager that got stuck in a hole. What a guy. I spent like 10 minutes running around going, where is he? Where is the final guy? And he fell in a random hole that I don't even remember digging. I did have a couple close calls, and honestly, one of my main strategies was just, oh, I'm dying? Hold on, let me run away. To be honest, I'm surprised that I managed to get through all of this without actually dying. Like, yes, I did use the totem at one point, but even then that was masterfully done, I'd say, and I didn't actually die. I got down to half a heart far more than I wanted to, but I didn't die. After all that excitement, I decided to go visit my bee house, because I built a house for my bees, and by a house I mean a greenhouse, because what kind of bee would live in like a What would it do? Sit on its kitchen chair and go, ah, yes, the morning news is great today. I decided to get all of the honey-based achievements out of the way, so I crafted a honey block and then built quite possibly the ugliest temporary structure just so I could, use it to break my fall. This one felt weird doing because I went out of my way to do it, and because in what world would I do that normally? Like, I'm sorry, but what? And when I was going to get another one of my cats back, you'll never guess what happened. I was building, I killed a raid captain guy who gave me bad omen, forgot about it, and then walked over to my cat in the nearby village, and oh no, there's another raid. It was all good, it was really easy, and I even managed to get a totem of undying out of it that I didn't have to use during the fight, which was nice. On one of my other adventures to get a different cat from a different faraway village, I stumbled across a parrot in a jungle, and I mean, come on. He's really cute. He's coming home. Plus, I need to look at him through a spyglass for an advancement, and I might as well have a cute parrot, like, at home instead of doing it randomly out in the wild. It honestly just felt like a meme. I don't know, something about black sides and an image in the center makes me go, ah yes, a meme. Don't know why, but it's a meme. Two of my cats were very far away from me, but they were close to each other, but I didn't want to lead them back at the same time with just, like, putting them in the boat and hoping, because if only one cat can go on the boat, the other one won't teleport. But I had an idea where I could get Frostwalker so I can walk them across the ocean with a lead for several thousand blocks. And that's basically what I ended up doing. I know I joked about Frozen in the last episode, but like, this is real Frozen behavior. On my way back, I stumbled across the pillager outpost again, and I decided to get the allays. I'm gonna call them allays. They may not be called allays, like, phonetically, but they are allays now. Because as well as they're very cute, there's also a couple advancements around them that I want to get, so I might as well have them at home too. I hadn't really interacted with them yet since 1.19, so I didn't really know how to lead them anywhere, so I thought you just stick a lead on them and then they follow you. They do not do that. They want to wander away from you and then wander back. It's really cute, but I was very stressed because I was almost convinced they were going to die. But they didn't, and now I was leading 2 cats and 2 allays across the ocean and just hoping that they wouldn't get lost. And I found this truly pathetic mushroom island. Like, it's like 10 blocks and a mushroom. They did not lie, it is a mushroom island, but it's not a lot else. I felt really bad about tying them to a fence post, but they kept leaving, and they wouldn't want to come back inside, and I was worried that they were just gonna either wander off or get killed. So I just had to put a fence post in until I could make them a home to live in. Birthday Song is a very confusing advancement. It is a hidden advancement though, so I don't think it's like, I don't know, it's not the same as the other ones, but I struggled a bit with it. But then I did get it in the end, and it was very cute to see them hold a little cake. I decided that the parrot and the allay were going to live together, so I wanted to give them all names, but honestly the names that I thought of were, interesting. Trying to get them into the record shop that I lovingly constructed for them was a bit of a struggle. Don't ask me why I built a record shop on a single-player world. It's about the aesthetic. I don't care if no one's gonna buy records. They need a record shop. It's only fair. And then I stumbled across a Woodland Mansion. I don't think it was the same Woodland Mansion that I found in the last episode, which is kind of hilarious because I can never find Woodland Mansions on my own. I always have to get the map. And then this time it's just, oh, here you go. 2 Woodland Mansions. Crazy. I found a whole bunch of allays, and honestly this time I wasn't too keen on taking them back. They don't all need to be my friends. Some of them can just go back out into the world, you know? There were a few close calls with the evokers and the vexes, and beyond a few close calls, there was a call where I died. I set my spawn just outside, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but I was a bit worried about losing all of my stuff because I was out here with a cat. I did get my stuff back and equipped a totem because I was getting so many of them because there were so many evokers. Even though I used one, I still had a bunch left to spare. The Woodland Mansion loot was honestly kinda sad. Like, I get that the whole point is to kill the evokers to get the totems, but risking my life for like 23 bones and a lead kinda feels bad, man. I figured that there was probably more chests hidden in the walls and things, but I didn't really want to go back and explore because even if most of the pillagers were dead, it was still a mob spawner, so I just lit the whole thing up. There was something so satisfying about watching it all burn, though. I don't know why. It's kind of like watching like power washing videos, where it just like cleans all the dirt off. All of the blocks just disappear. I did find a couple more chests though, and in the end I got 2 diamond hose. I can dual wield diamond hose. Great. Eventually I made it back home with my final cat, and then named all of them. And again, some of the names that I chose were interesting. Shout out to Heterogeneous Mixture and Onion. Good guys. The next advancement I was going for was one that was going to take a little bit of work. I was going for the Monsters Hunted advancement, which is to kill every hostile mob, and even though I'd killed more than half of them already, a lot of them were either off camera or, like, a part of me wanted this to be consistent, like do it all in one episode, so that's kind of what I did, where I just went around and killed every mob. For the skeleton kill, I wanted to get the advancement that is to shoot a skeleton from 50 blocks away, so I constructed an ugly cobblestone mess. And I think the funniest thing is that I changed my FOV to make it closer, and that didn't help, and then I changed my FOV back to normal, and suddenly I managed to hit the skeleton. Like, are you kidding me? I was really hoping that my bow would one-shot the pigmen, but it didn't, and then I had a whole bunch of pigmen who were angry at me, but honestly, I'm at the point where a lot of mobs don't do a lot of damage to me, so it was fine. I needed to kill a lot of Endermen, because not only did I need to get enough for Eyes of Ender, but I also needed to get enough to spawn an Endermite, and who knows how long that might take and how many Ender Pearls I might need for that. I was not happy to be back in the fortress. I don't know if you remember, but I lost all of my extra Wither Skulls a few episodes ago to my own hubris, so I was gonna have to kill a bunch of Wither Skulls to get them back so I could fight the Wither again. And surely nothing will go wrong when I fight the Wither again. Surely I've learned. Trying to kill a Zoglin was miserable, because in order to kill a Zoglin, you have to make a Zoglin. In order to make a Zoglin, you have to lead a Hoglin through another portal, which is not only a miserable thing to do, but also a miserable advancement. It's mostly miserable because Hoglins are afraid of nether portals, and like, I guess that makes sense because no one wants to be a Zoglin, but God, it sucked. I cut out so much of me faffing around and just struggling. I love my Power 5 bow being able to one-shot creepers from a distance. Instead of having to go to the snowy biome, which was a bit far away, and then fighting a stray there, I could just take a bucket of powdered snow and wait for a skeleton to turn into a stray, which was pretty nice. I ended up going into the ocean to try to find a drown because I was really hoping to run into a trident drown, so maybe I could get a trident because I do actually really need one of those, but I didn't have any such luck with the ocean. A while ago when I had been caving, I saved the coordinates to the spider spawner. And now here I was, fighting the Wither again. Nothing would go wrong. I came prepared with a strength potion. I even had several iron golems to help me. Like, There was no way I was gonna lose this fight. And then I realized that I didn't set my spawn nearby, so half of the wither fight turned into me placing down a bed, realizing he'd destroyed it, and trying to place down the bed again. I don't know what was going on in my head. I think all of my 2 brain cells were, like, fighting to try to figure out some more permanent solution, and I couldn't think of one. And it happened again. I died. And I ended up back at spawn because I didn't realize that, oh, if you have a bed and it keeps getting broken, and then you die without the spawn point, you're gonna end up back at spawn. Like an idiot. Thankfully, I did have some backup materials because I decided to get some more after I got Hero of the Village, because that made them give me even more free stuff, which was really nice. I stand by the fact that the only reason I won this fight was because I just kept eating golden apples. I had like 12 of them. I was just going for it. Because I can't tell in the dark how many hearts I have left, and I started to realize that that might be why I kept dying to the wither, because I was really bad at checking how many hearts I had because you can't tell. I would just keep eating them anytime I felt that I was in danger, which seemed to be a solid strategy because I did finally win. And then after all of that, I went down into the cave to see if any of my stuff had survived. And honestly, this is kind of insane to me, but the only thing that survived of any importance was my coordinate book. I don't know how or why. Like, that's just so insane to me. Like, I don't know. After all that insanity, I decided to go back and kill some more overworld mobs because I had enough of fighting bosses for the next several minutes at least, and killed some slimes. I'd been out at night for a while at this point because I was trying to get some phantoms to spawn, but I hadn't run into any zombie villagers, so what I decided to do was to go to the village that was closest to the swamp, and then just trap a unsuspecting villager in a room with a zombie, and then kill both of them after the villager zombified. It took a while for these phantoms to spawn. I googled it, and it's apparently only supposed to take like 3 or 4 days. I didn't sleep for at least like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 days, and they just weren't showing up. But eventually they showed up, so I shouldn't really complain, I guess. One of the last mobs that I needed to find was a Piglin Brute, which is kind of annoying because they don't respawn like in the Bastion Remnants, and I'd killed all of the Piglin Brutes. Or at least I thought I had in the nearby bastions, but I actually managed to find a pocket that just had a bunch of piglins in it and a Piglin Brute, so that was pretty lucky. The next thing I needed to do was kill a guardian and an elder guardian, and I really wanted to get some axolotls help with this, not only for an advancement, but also because it could be kind of fun because I've never really fought with the axolotls before. So I tried to get them to trust me, because that's kind of what you need to do in order for them to give you regen. And then I wanted to make them have a baby just in case. Just in case. The Sea Temple fight could have gone better, because instead of helping me, the axolotls just kinda left after a while, and didn't help me, really. Like, they helped me a bit, but I didn't get the advancement I was looking for either. They did leave a lot of ink sacs, though. Like, there were a lot of ink sacs around there. It seemed like they were more interested in the squids than the guardians, somehow. Honestly, being in the Sea Temple reminds me of my first time that I ever tried to conquer a Sea Temple. Like, it was a few years ago at this point, but I didn't really know how mining fatigue worked, and I was getting absolutely wrecked by guardians, so what I did was I enclosed myself in a cobblestone box. And now you can see the issue with that now. Being in a cobblestone box with mining fatigue in a sea temple that will keep giving you mining fatigue. It wasn't my brightest moment, I'll say. Fortunately, I've grown and I'm slightly better at Minecraft, so I can just kill all of the Elder Guardians and not trap myself for possibly forever. I think the saddest part out of all of this was that I didn't find the axolotls. I don't know if they died or not, or if they just swam off, because I don't think whatever I did to try to make them trust me actually worked, and they just didn't care about me anymore. But I proclaimed them lost at sea, and there needed to be some memorial to them, some grave, just in case they had actually died. And I think the saddest thing is that now they're leaving a child behind, an orphan. I'll have to take that orphan and raise him as my own. It's the only thing I can do. At this point, I'd killed all but 3 mobs. Sulfur Fish, Ender Dragon, and Shulker. And all 3 of those mobs are kind of end-related. Sure, you can find Sulfur Fish in the overworld, like naturally spawning outside of the strongholds, but it's kind of annoying and terrible and miserable when I could just go to a stronghold because I need to go to the end anyway. I got pretty lucky because the end portal's actually not too far away from my house. It's a bit of a trek, but considering how far end portals can be, it wasn't that bad. My excitement to have filled the end portal up and opened it, I just jumped in. What I didn't realize was that I didn't set my spawn anywhere. And here's all the advancements I got this episode. This episode was kind of a mess because I didn't plan that raid, and then I just decided, okay, we're hunting all the monsters today, and then went for it. It just happened.